My time at Cara has changed me by helping me realize that my own happiness and joys, sorrows and grief are in fact part of the human experience. This is something that we share in common with one another, and that in fact it connects us rather than separating us from one another and leaving us isolated in whatever our experience happens to be. So being able to be in circles of men as they touch places that are raw and vulnerable within them is such a powerful experience. Being able to witness how they're willing to share and support one another, it almost seems miraculous to me. Here are my 5 words: deep listening, open heart, compassion.
My time at Cara has changed me in that I'm finding I'm a more compassionate and accepting person. An important lesson I've learned over the years is that it's a client's process, and as a counselor, we're creating a healing space for them. When a client shares something with me that they have not shared with anyone else in their life, to me, that act of courage to share that, and I'm honored that they are sharing that with me, really helps their healing process and can create some openings for them. My Cara experience can be summed up in a heartfelt connection with others.
I think that the most important lesson that I've learned at Cara is how not to judge others. And this is a very valuable lesson that carries into my personal life as a mother, as a spouse, and with my clients. I recently closed with a client at Cara, a woman I had been seeing for 2 years since the death of her son. We met at the cemetery where her son's remains are interred. I too lost a son 5 years ago, and he's buried at the same cemetery. So we had a moment of companionship and of mutual compassion where we visited the graves of our sons, left flowers, and talked about looking forward to hope with our family and with our loved ones, and always carrying the memory of our children with us. To me, Cara is a place that is caring, compassionate, hopeful, accepting, and most of all, a community.
My time at Cara has changed me in many ways. I have become a much better listener. I've become more mindful and found joy in things that I didn't think would ever come to me. The most moving experience that I've had during my time at Cara was at the very first Camp Erin, where I served as a grief counselor for the children there. And I was matched with a young woman who, a young girl, 13 years old, who was grieving the loss of her father by suicide. And that experience brought to me a huge amount of emotion, because that's what I experienced. My husband died by suicide when my daughter was 13. And working with this young woman, and having my daughter at camp at the same time, and her working in turn with the same young woman, brought us together in a way that we hadn't been able to achieve since the passing of her father. The 5 words I would use to describe my experience at Cara are life-changing experiences and enduring friendships.
One of the things that I've learned at Cara in working with the children's group is trusting the process. And by that I mean that as facilitators, we are child-centric and we listen to them, and we're patient and we're non-judgmental. My most moving experience at Cara was working at Camp Erin, where the kids would come into an amphitheater at night, and the young children in most cases would go up and share their experience. The simplicity of what they said and the depth of their suffering was very moving. It's emotionally overpowering, frankly. Cara has really given me a platform to create meaning in my life.
My experience with Cara has fortified me and made me stronger. It's taken the worst experience of my life, which is losing my daughter, and has given it a positive value. I came as a client when I lost my daughter, and now I am a peer counselor and a group facilitator. The most important thing that I think I've learned is that I am still learning and healing, and I receive this learning and healing from the clients that I come to serve. Once in a group, a gentleman said that if we're going to carry the guilt and the blame for every bad experience that led to our loved one's death, then we also need to take credit for every wonderful thing that happened in their life, every happiness, every bit of laughter. 5 words that I would use to describe Cara are safe, sharing, understanding, pain, and joy.
My time at Cara has greatly enriched my professional and personal life. Personally, I've been able to explore my loss of my mother early on, and been given the space and the tools here at Cara to do that. Professionally, I've reaffirmed my desire to go into counseling and work with kids. I think Camp Erin has been the most significant in my life. The space that gets created for those kids and the volunteers is amazing. The safety and the security and the love that are present in that weekend is unbelievable, and I'm honored to be a part of it. I would say that one of the most moving experiences for me at Cara has been witnessing kids from my own group, my SD1 group, coming to camp and being able to verbalize their father's suicide for the first time. Cara has been heart-opening.
Cara has changed me by giving me the chance to really make a difference in the world, to connect with something so important to me and give my time in a way that I impact real people in their real lives. The lesson I've learned working with clients at Cara is that the loss, the pain and suffering that I felt, I've been able to turn into something that really makes a difference for others, that my loss was not for naught. Helping the kids check in the morning of their Camp Erin experience, knowing that they're going to have an opportunity to connect with other kids who've shared a similar experience and really move forward in their healing, knowing that I can help contribute to that makes my heart fill. The 5 words I would use to describe my experience of Cara are powerful, impactful, heartfelt, important, and a privilege.